Bit of a different one today. I have my 2024 intern, my one-of-one intern here on the podcast, James George. He came into my world through a small development thing I put up in 2023. After spending some time with a psychologist and she kind of recommended that I start to move in the direction of the things that fill my cup up. And for me, that is education and helping young coaches better understand these things. That is where I get the most sense of fulfillment from. And I put up a very cheap, it was a 4-week process to come down and learn from me. And James George just managed to come to that. And then he's kind of just been here ever since. And then this year, he became like an actual intern with me, spent basically every week with me, multiple hours per week. And he's kind of just been alongside me as I've been building up training model from that June 2023 up until now. So he's a pivotal part in my development as well. We're kind of both elevating at the same time, which has been really cool. And he's just been awesome to have around because he asks a lot of really good application-based questions and helps me better formalize my ideas into something that can actually be productive for people learning from me and coaches learning from me. So it's been awesome to see. So very excited to have James on. He's one of my favorites, one of my all-time favorites. So I'm sure you'll get a lot out of this episode if you're a young coach and on a similar journey to where James is currently. But before we get into the episode, I just want to let you know that both the wormhole and intake 3 of the movement mentorship will be launching in the first week of November. There'll be a bunch of offers up to get people jumping in and hopefully starting the direction or the second phase of training model, which would be all of the products in the offer suite are all built and then ready to go. So if you are looking to jump in the wormhole or jump in intake 3 of the movement mentorship, first week of November, the best place that you can be is on the email list. So please check that out on the website there, or just follow me on social media. So yeah, if you are keen, plenty of opportunities coming up. So let's get into the episode and James George. James George, my first intern for my proper intern for a while. How's it been?
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, when did we start? June
of last year, yeah. June development with Dermo, Talia, Zoe Smith as well.
Yep. Durham.
That crew. Durham McInnes.
Shouts out.
Was an intern for him as well. June seems like a lifetime ago.
Yep. What were your thoughts when you first walked? How'd you come into our circle here at Strength Culture?
I was a placement student at base. And Con was there. Con Economy, shouts out. Just going to shout everyone out. But yeah, I just wanted to learn a bit more within like the strength and conditioning areas of the industry, because I did a lot with Jasmine Spate for EP. And Con's like, man, these guys are mad. Check them out, Melbourne Strength Culture. Sussed out a few YouTube videos. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll just pull the trigger, and sort of found myself here.
Dive in. Now you're in the web.
In the web.
Now you can't get away.
Yeah, nah.
We've ruined your life. Nah.
Bad boy.
Bad boy for life.
Bad boy for life.
So we did June development. So June development for me was the start of like, just finished with the psych. I was like, I need to get back to doing the things that fucking fill my cup up. And I was like, I'm just going to throw up. It was like 2 weeks before I just like threw up. Like, I'm doing 4 weeks of free development. If you want to come, just come.
Yeah,
or did I charge for it? I might have charged like $90.
I think you charged.
I think it was $99 for the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was like $25 a session or something. And like 6 people I think jumped in. You were one of them. And for me, it was like the restarting of like, all right, I actually want to get back into the technical side. I don't want to dumb things down. I want to fucking just be myself, lean into the shit that I feel like is a strength of mine. And I hadn't really thought about the content per se. Like I had the ideas of like what I wanted to chat about, but it was not like thought out like the mentorship is now.
Yeah.
Of like very like a progressive thing. I was just like, I'm just going. I'm just gonna fuck it. And I can't even remember what was in the first, but how'd you go?
Man, yeah. We spoke briefly about it. But that first session, I think I absorbed probably like 5% of what you said.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there like, oh, this is like level 5 understanding here.
Yep.
Well, you started it off with, let's dive into some anatomy. Does everyone know their anatomy? And you get the general like, yeah, like the sheepy, yeah, sort of response from everyone. And then
which is a green light for me to be like, yeah, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, just go. We're gonna just muddle up their brains right now. But yeah, you spoke about the rib cage and pelvis, and I was like, oh, all right. I was finding it hard to keep up with you, but I was still there. And then I think we moved on to, it would have been. We laid, I think, a bit more of like the center of mass.
I think we came in with center of mass.
Yeah. And then I was like, whoa, I think that was what sort of was the hook.
You're intrigued by it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is mad. This makes sense. We stood up. We did the foot pressure. And I'm like.
Center of mass 101.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this makes sense. And yeah, by the end of it, like, I think everything after that just didn't sink in. I'm like, this is mad. I want to know more. Like, why is it this way when, I was just coasting at other places and at uni, and it was just taught one way, where this just seemed like it doesn't make sense for it to only be one way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think with how far into uni were you then?
That would have been halfway through, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with uni, and this is like part of my whole thing with like they teach it backwards. They teach it. I don't know how you learnt it, but I definitely learnt it like muscle first. Like you definitely learn like the insertion and origin points into the bones and stuff. But everything's reconciled back to this idea of like muscle contraction.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Antagonist, agonist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And the pseudo stability idea of like there's a tug of war motion going on, and that. And all of this sort of stuff where, and this is part of like the June development. And then I did the other free thing, but like reframing the way I'm actually like educating around it to like, all right, I actually got to not do what I did to you, which is like, don't throw people in the deep end too fast. Like, let's just get some common ground. But yeah, I think with uni, they teach it. I honestly just think they teach it backwards. Like if you learnt movement and anatomy from motion first, not even bone first or gravity first, like if you want to go there, just motion, like what is the available motion of the body, and then you layer on muscle on top of that, and then hopefully you get to tension before you get to contraction. But I think that everyone would just make more sense. At least that's my bias. I don't know. Like,
I 100% agree. Like, it just makes so much more sense to understand that, once you've just put yourself into a position that these muscles are just going to create tension, to move the arm here or to stop you from falling forward there. Like, just
it's a response.
Yeah, it's literally just get yourself in this position, your muscles will just respond to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I like it when the light bulbs go off for the students. I hate saying students, the coaches like that haven't been exposed to it, or maybe they've seen, because there's a lot of people that speak in these sort of ways, especially like just through Instagram and like content in general. But I don't know, like once you learn it, it's just like, oh, hang on, it can't be that fucking simple. There it is.
It does. It seemed unreal at first, because my initial like difficulty learning it all was, I've learned this way from uni. You spend so much time there. You're under the like understanding that these are the experts, that they're going to set you up for the career, everything. Like, you're learning from textbooks that, these people have learned from too. So it was
half of them have written them.
Yeah.
They're like literally written the textbooks.
Yeah. So it was like, when I stepped into here, I'm like, whoa, this is just complete 180. But it wasn't like in the sense of I don't buy into what you're saying. It was, I could start to slowly piece things together and question. I think that was the biggest thing for me. It was constantly question, like, all right, well, why did they say it was this way? And Jamie's explaining, well, actually, can get similar outcomes or even better outcomes doing it another way.
Yeah, just with a different vantage.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and then the deeper you go into like these ideas, you eventually come back and realize what they're actually talking. And I would actually love to go back and resit my like foundational uni anatomy.
I think it would be awesome.
And how much more you'd get out of it now.
Heaps more.
Yeah.
Like, you'd actually understand what people are saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like if I'm watching YouTube videos or you send me, reels or whatever, the golf guy that you send, he's a little bit different, but I'm actually able to sit there and be like, all right, narrative. All right, there's a principle, and there's like, oh, he's just talking about center of mass, or
they just use different words. Yeah.
And I think that's given me a level of confidence in just like being in the same space as other coaches, knowing that I can actually help people. Well, not knowing that I can actually help people, but knowing that what I'm doing at them is I'm not just throwing random shit at them and hoping that it's going to actually work. I know that, if I just follow these core principles, that they're going to get good outcomes.
Just going to take a very quick break here to let you know that I have both a squat and deadlift and then also a bench press and reach program available through Training Model. This is a fantastic resource if you're looking to learn from me and my ideas and the principles that I observe for both movement and programming. Both of them come with about 2 hours worth of content, unpacking some of the principles, as well as a bunch of educational videos and tutorials for exercises and the most important things for technique, as well as full program walkthroughs, everything you need to really start to learn from me. So I'd recommend checking them out. There is a bundle that is linked down below to save 25% when you purchase them together. So check that out if you're interested in learning from me and my ideas around programming, movement, and just in general coaching. Did you ever think that you would... Because I think the reason that I like you so much is that you just keep fucking... just keep asking... Back. Yeah, you just keep coming back and asking more questions and being like, actually, well, what about this? And like, we just keep going deeper and deeper. Like you've said it already, like the level 5 thing. But if you're listening to this, like I have like this framework in my head that there's like level 1, level 2 and level 3 questions and like understanding and like... Level 2, I think, is the fun shit. Level 3 is like, all right, we're pretty deep.
Yeah, in the weeds.
Yeah, you're in the weeds. Like you're fucking... It's probably not practical, but it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Most people are stuck in level 1 or level 0. They just got no idea. But level 2, I think, is good. It's a good place to... But did you ever think that you would be this into it?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't. Honestly...
This is what happened with me, man.
Yeah.
I just started learning. I was like, what the fuck? This is mad. Yeah.
100%. Like, from my time when I started, placement for uni... It was literally just a means to an end. I just wanted to tick it off, get it done, start working. But then, being in this circle and seeing so many coaches come through, seeing so many, people come through here, I'm just like, nah. I just found myself just, why? Like, why is it that you're teaching it this way, or why is it that you have this understanding, or why? Yeah, there's something in my brain that has to understand the why for it.
Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what happened with me. I like, for me, it was Cressy's blogs.
Yeah.
Which I've sent you a few and we've chatted, we've gone through. There's still, I think, some of the best content ever produced within these sort of ideas. And I every week, it would be, because this was before fucking Instagram stuff, you'd have to wait for the new blog to come out. And I was like 16 or 17 and I'm waiting for like Joe DeFranco's blogs and fucking Eric Cressy's blogs and Mike Robertson's blogs, and I'm reading these blogs around Eric Cressy mainly, and then after a while it started to click for me. I was like, oh, hang on. And then I just like kept going deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And I eventually fucking went over there. But like, it's just the same thing. It like fills you up.
It does.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's like, you just, you can't explain it other than like, it's like a puzzle piece, just like that satisfaction of finding that puzzle piece that just slots together. And then you just want to put more pieces together.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been a wild ride, fallen down many rabbit holes, found our way back out of them.
Productively.
But
Yeah.
just keep asking why. That was my thing.
I love it. From a coaching perspective then, because you hadn't coached, had you?
No.
So back to June last year.
Yeah, that would have been.
Had you started your placement?
Yeah, I would have finished it. That would have been like March, April, around there.
Yeah.
No, it would have been April, I think.
But you had never like taken a program, coached someone.
Never written a program.
You just sort of like helped other coaches.
Yeah, I was like shadowing.
Yep.
Did some work with Con at like schools and stuff.
Yep.
And I remember those sessions where they were so bad. Con, like, bless him, he's so good. He was so patient with me. He would just help me, with my confidence. And it was just general stuff like delivery of instruction. I remember
soft skills.
Yeah. He was just like, have an understanding of what you want the outcome to be. If we were doing like an A skip or anything, and then just break it down from there. Yeah. That was the extent of my coaching.
That was the extent. And then since then, you've obviously you're working as a personal trainer now, starting to get into strength coaching, starting to do a little bit of online work as well. But how's it been applying it and like seeing it in real time?
Now it's a whole lot less talking and more of like just giving basic coaching cues, I suppose, if that's what you want to say, to clients. And then knowing that if I can see them in that position, or if I get the feedback from them that they've got, foot pressure somewhere, or, if I can see their heads gazing up or whatever, I know what's happening.
Yep.
And then I can just confidently make adjustments from there to get them somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's always one of my main goals with all of the educate is just observing more, asking better questions definitely, and like to get better information and stuff, but letting the client actually guide the decisions rather than trying to like force them into a sort of thing. What's like the main? Is it the center of mass thing? Do you reckon that's the key thing that you've taken from application?
I think so.
Like just the understanding of forward and back in space.
Most people just don't have enough like practice at just moving themselves in different positions and like skill execution. It's just pretty much just that, and then we're just challenging how well that they are at doing that skill. Like you can just get stuck in doing it one way for so long, but as soon as you just tell them to adjust it a little bit and try it a different way, then it's like a completely new thing to them. And I think that's what I find super interesting about coaching, because it's just like, it's not the same thing, but you can get sort of stuck in that wheel of doing the same thing, but it's sort of a different experience for everyone, and it's like
it's a different problem to solve.
Yeah. It might be the same thing that you're just telling them, okay, tuck your pelvis, but to them it's like, whoa, this is unreal.
My back tension's gone.
Yeah. And that's a super cool moment when you just help that person.
Yeah, and help them simply. And they're not narratized by what the fuck was going on. Yeah, the narrative.
And you're both not stressed out, because it's like you're throwing random things like, all right, put the band around your knees, push out, do this, that, and it's like, yeah.
Nah, crazy. What's next for your coaching then? What do you want to do?
I just want to coach more people.
Do you like the strength stuff? Because I know you've got an athletic background.
Yeah.
Do you want to do more of the athlete? Like, what do you? Yeah.
I think personally, I want to do like with my own training. I want to dive into more of the strength, little bit of athletic stuff, but like in terms of coaching, I just want to do strength. Like I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Like people often underestimate how strong they are and how strong they can get. And it can often get kind of muddy, like the process of getting there. And you can just, an enjoyable part of the job is making it easy for them.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh,
removing the friction.
Yeah. And they're like, mad, like I didn't, just doing this, I can, see progress. I'm like, yeah, it's just, remove all that sort of shit. But yeah, strength training for sure is my passion at the moment.
Yeah. For coaching.
Yeah, for coaching.
Yeah, obviously for coaching and helping people. I think it's also the place where you can have the biggest impact.
Yeah.
Like getting people feel capable, confident in the gym is a huge one. Like shatter their expectations of like, holy shit, I never thought I could do that. Like, it's a cool moment.
Yeah.
It's a really cool moment.
100%.
Yeah.
And the community like here as well, they helped me build that level of confidence in my coaching as well, because I was able to lean on them to ask questions, but also they sort of set that level of, I don't know, just being a good person to encourage others, motivate them, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that I can do that for others.
Yeah. Fucking oath. Absolutely. Have an impact.
Yeah, have an impact.
Take action and have
Take
an impact.
action. That's the motto of this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Take action without a doubt. Is there anything else that you want to learn more of? Because we've spent a fuck ton of time. I actually think, and even like Charlie and Dids, like coaching here, and Buzz, obviously, but like they've been around like me and my ideas and stuff. But like the strength culture model is a blend of all of the people that have influenced it. Where in my brain, I have my own fucking isolated model. I think you are the closest person to my obviously, like obviously, like the big industry leaders of these ideas, I could talk to and they'd get it straight away.
Yeah.
But like in terms of people that I've helped, I think you're you're leading the pack currently of the depth of the understanding. Is there anything else that you want to learn? Because we've spent a fuck ton of time.
We have. Look, we're going through DGR stuff right now, and even that, I'm just like, you gave me the advice, like just sit with it for a bit and think about it. You have the answers, and the more I do that, the more I'm like,
what were we going through the other day? Like a rock back breathing.
Yeah, the rock back breathing and like the
pronation,
supination of the hands.
Yeah. Shouts out David Gray, GOAT. He is the gold standard.
I sent him a DM. He hasn't opened it.
Did he respond?
Still.
No. He's too big time. Man, he's got like 200 fucking something thousand followers now.
Unreal.
I think I followed him at like 8,000 when he was still in Sydney. And we started chatting a bit. This was when I was making the strength culture content on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And we started chatting a bunch. We had similar sort of experiences with like PRI and like some of the other continued ed stuff. And he was just starting with the content journey. And then it's just like grown.
Blown up.
Yeah, but it's not that so much that it's blown. It's obviously fucking huge.
Yeah.
But like when you actually talk to him and listen to his podcast and stuff, it's literally just daily action of like posting a lot, making sure the ideas are easy to follow. And this is something that I try to do better with, because I can very quickly just go into the deeper things. And I actually want to pull back a little bit, especially with Instagram. Podcast and YouTube a little different. But like just observing him grow is fucking mad. Because like the idea would be like, he's blown up. But it actually hasn't. It has just been a very progressive, like
a steady,
and it just keeps gaining momentum and stuff. And it's obviously a huge principle with him. He came and we did a little business thing together. Did you come to that?
No, that was before me.
Yeah, you must have missed David Gray by about 3 months. But he did a seminar here, and then we did a business chat together on like a Thursday night. I think it was like 30 people that came to that. And I was watching his presentation, and the crux of it was literally just daily ideas. Like just share your ideas, like share your conversation and all of that. And even back then, he was probably at like 80. I think he was at like 60 grand then, and now he's at like fucking 200. Like it just keeps gaining and growing momentum.
Application.
That's
all action. People care about.
Action. So so you're going through the DGR stuff.
Yeah.
How's that been landing? Because again, very, very similar sort of view of the system, as 100%. I think most of the high level sort of practitioners have, although at least the ones I'm interested in. Yeah,
like all the terminology being used, application, just the reasoning behind why we're doing certain things is the same conversations that we've been having in like from the June development, and then it's just slowly become more concise with your training model stuff now. Like it's really no different. Obviously he'll have his own like breathing drills that he does. That's what he finds more effective with his population group, and then you have yours. But it's literally just like it bleeds into the same conversation. He'll still do supine hip rolling. He'll still do
just very entry level motor control stuff.
Yeah.
It's just awareness, understanding tension, feeling different tension responses,
building context, and then just challenging them,
and then just progressively going through that. Yeah, the breathing stuff. I think. Have you played around with it much with your clients?
Like
a little bit.
Yeah.
What have you tried?
Supine hip rolling, done that. That's not really a breathing, but I've done just like on all fours.
Yeah.
It's like push into the ground
like
with the
hunch.
elbows. Yeah. Breathe into the upper back. What other ones are we
doing? Have you found it useful?
The seated one.
Seated, like a little seated, short seated breathing. Yeah.
I have. For certain people, you get like really good reaction to it.
Yeah.
And others, it's kind of like, and you got to spend a little bit more time with them. Tell them, okay, I want you to just take a complete breath out.
Yeah.
And then
full exhale.
Yeah, full exhale and then full inhale. And it takes time. You got to layer it with a little bit of like understanding of what the purpose is behind it. And like it's not just always one session, maybe a couple sessions, but generally a good reaction.
Yeah. So I always sometimes, because I came through PRI, learnt it from Cressy initially online before I did the internship. Then when I got to the internship, it was heavily discussed and the ideas around it and the positions, especially with the baseball population, was glenohumeral internal rotation was a huge thing. And when you execute a good PRI drill for that, like you can just dump IR like crazy. Like you just clear the space and it just fucking goes. So a lot of the stuff related to that was within that application. And then eventually I ended up at iFast and speaking with Bill, Lance Goik at the time, which we've chatted around, and then
the mastermind.
Yeah, Lance Goik, one of the smartest people I've ever met. And then I came home and I was like, and then I did the 2 PRI courses. And sometimes I feel like, am I indoctrinated into the breathing drills? Like, are they actually necessary? Like, that is something that because I always come back to them as like, no, they're just very like low entry level motor control, tension feeling. You can definitely change the shape of a rib cage very easily when you're doing well. So they tick a lot of boxes, but then sometimes I'm like, do you actually need them to tick that first box? I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely food for some thought there. I don't know.
Yeah. Or are they simply just the lowest level sensory stuff? Which I'm fine with them being that, and there's still a place for them. But sometimes I'm just like, I don't know.
I think it's a good, it's a good like fallback to always call upon when we are doing more complex things.
Yeah, it's context.
Yeah, it is context at the end of the day. And I think even for, I was training with Charles Monday night, and he was like, oh man, I think I need to go back to doing
PRI?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like, I think I need to go back to doing like the Cressy stuff and all that sort of.
Because he's been talking a bit about low traps. He's seen David Barros for he's had chronic like neck. It's like a neural compression somewhere.
Yeah.
No, he's had a number of people look at it and try to work it out, and he always goes through like phases of it feeling better and not.
Yeah.
We always thought it was just the aggressive bench position, because every time he'd push bench hard, especially a couple of times a week, it would flare up.
Yeah.
And like you can see when he's agitated, like he's constantly just
he does
like,
these ons, yeah.
Yeah, he's like constantly just, and I've tried with him, with just like the PRI stuff. He came to the PRI courses, so he understands it all as well. But Dan had a look at it for a little while. I think he was seeing someone else, and now he's with David Barros.
Yeah,
He's like, I want to get on top of this thing.
Yeah.
And then I think David was talking about like the scap position and like shrugging, like an actual shrugging demand, maybe, and like elevating and like strengthening that neck strength stuff they're doing, and actually loading the neck. And then Charlie was doing low trap stuff. And he was like, the low trap shit makes it feel better. I'm like, maybe we need to go back.
He's like, maybe I need to go back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, man. Every now and then you just need a refresher.
Yeah.
Like you don't just, you just need to remind yourself.
Yeah. And now you're doing the half Ironman with him.
Yep. We're in that one. First week in. 2 swims done.
Did you sign up?
I haven't signed up.
Right.
I'm going to, as soon as he signs up, I'll sign up.
All right. That would be very late. Could be too late.
You reckon?
Just the heads up.
Okay.
If I were you, push Charlie in to do it.
All right. We'll do that this week then. Nah, but it's been mad. Definitely need to munge more. Need to eat more.
Yeah.
But swimming is fucking hard.
Swimming is definitely fucking
Swimming
hard.
is hard.
I suck at it.
I feel like I'm just flailing, just going nowhere. These two guys in the fast lane next to me just fucking beelining, and I'm just there gasping for air.
Yeah. Have you got much swimming experience?
When I was younger, I did swimming.
Yeah.
But
so it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, in there somewhere.
It's in the motor program somewhere.
It's not effortless though.
It's in the brain somewhere.
But you know what? Doing some of the center of mass shit with my head up, I've noticed harder to just actually move in the water. A little bit more of a tuck.
Funny
just
that.
Coast in,
you rotate better too.
Yeah. The buoyancy, we're not. I don't even know what the term is. We're not moving against the water like this. It's rather just...
Yeah, there's less resistance.
Yeah, less resistance.
Yeah, you want to be like a torpedo.
Yeah.
You want to be stacked in the water.
I reckon that will be my my name for the half Ironman, torpedo.
Torpedo.
Yeah.
In thought.
Bad boy torpedo.
Bad boy. Nah, unreal. When is it?
March next year, 2025. Yeah. See how we go.
Just jump straight in.
I'm going to pick up a bike after this.
Yeah.
We're in the thick of it.
And then what about your powerlifting goals then?
Powerlifting still very much I want to push.
Yeah. What about body weight?
Body weight's going up.
Is it going to continue to go up with all this additional...
It's going to be hard.
Man, you're going to have to eat so much.
So much.
Yeah.
Man, I just slammed some pasta. Going to have some Skippy and some bagels
Skippy's
now.
Shit out.
It's got way better macros compared to the bigger peanut butter. But
Kraft maybe. Yeah.
Is it the Kraft?
I think it's Kraft. Bigger cheese, isn't it? Kraft?
Kraft?
I think it's Kraft is the banner company.
Kraft?
Yeah, I think it's Kraft.
I don't know. And slam some ham, cheese, and mayo on white bread.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Yeah.
Where's your veggies, mate?
Later.
Later.
Make up for it for dinner. Yeah.
Bowl of veggies, fibre. So powerlifting still. Gain weight.
Yep.
You do know every kilo you gain makes that fucking journey harder.
Yeah. The goal is not to do it in an amazing time. It's literally just to tick it off.
Get it done. All right.
Charles challenged me. Just come on, let's do it.
I reckon your training sessions with Charles will be funny.
I reckon.
That'll be hilarious.
He's going to hate me by the end of it.
Nah, you guys will be right. You'll end up hating Charles.
Well, yeah, every time he's just he's complaining about the training. I'm like, mate, enjoy it. Yeah. It's about the journey, not the destination.
The one thing with Charlie is when he says he'll do something and he just starts the momentum, he'll just do it.
Yeah.
He'll just go. Even if it's a shit day, he'll just get up and do it. He'll just,
Yeah.
It's one admirable quality with Charlie. I remember when he's like, I'm going to start learning guitar in lockdown. And I'm like, And in my head, I was like, maybe I'll do something. And I was like, because I just have the opposite. I do 2-week hard weeks and just fuck it off.
And then fade off,
Fade off, dopamine slows down, see you later, I'm out. Charlie would just if he actually wants to do it, he'll just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad.
Nah, so I'm keen. Yeah. We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
I'll have to...
The heavy run club sessions will get heavier, faster.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll get one of those, those leads that they put on the kids on their wrists, and we can attach each other for the race. Drag each other along.
Yeah, fucking hell. That's mad. All right. Nice.
Nice.
Do you have anything... Someone that's on the fence of doing the mentorship or the wormhole, or what would your recommendation be?
Man, you got to do it. You won't regret it. It's it's just so valuable. It's honestly changed the way that I coach. It's changed my experiences just as a lifter as well. With the Don Miguel Ruiz stuff too.
The 4 agreements.
The 4 agreements.
Laura told me to read it yesterday again. I'm like, I'm going to have to get back into it.
You got to. It's unreal. It's just so valuable. You also meet like-minded coaches that have run into similar roadblocks as you, and you just, you figure out how to get through it, how to get through the mud and enjoy learning in the weeds.
Yeah, in the weeds. Yeah. Spend some more time in the weeds.
Spend some more time in the weeds.
Yeah, love it. All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Good stuff. That wraps up the episode here with James George. Again, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end. If you did make it this far, please help me out by sharing it on social media or subscribing to the YouTube channel here or giving me 5 stars on Spotify. All of those things do help me. They G me up. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you're looking to jump in the wormhole or intake 3 of the Movement Mentorship, that will be live at the first week of November. Both of them are going to launch together, and you can dive in deep with the stuff that I have coming up. Or you can jump in with the upper or lower programs. Again, those programs are a fantastic starting point if you're looking to learn from me and my principles and how I observe movement and programming and all the things that I think are important. They both come with nearly 2 hours worth of educational materials and tutorials and technique ideas and program walkthroughs and everything that you need to learn from me. So if you are interested in that, there is a bundle linked down below to save 25% for both the upper and the lower programs. I'd recommend checking those out. And if you are looking to get in the deeper stuff, it is coming first week in November. Wormhole launches and the intake 3 of the Movement Mentorship will launch as well. So again, thanks for making it to the end. I really do appreciate you. I'll see you next week.